Well, actress and proud Israeli Gal Gadot of Fast and Furious, Wonder Woman, and the controversial Snow White
Weird.
just got her star on the Walk of Fame to the delight of many, including some Hamas lovers. I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this, just because the woman stands up for her country, her people, she's getting trashed. Wow. But it's what's next. Hey, happy Friday, ladies and gents. Jazz Berganzo, what's next? Your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salt. Hope you guys are feeling good today. Of course, going to the weekend is always a good thing. So, enjoy. Well, today's opening day. Today is the opening day of one of the greatest films in the millennium. You've been waiting for it. You've been slobbering for it. Your eyes have been mouth-watering for it. Your eyes have been mouth-watering for it? Really? Anyway, Snow White. You know, that wonderful adaptation, live adaptation of the 1937 classic, of course, starring Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot as the evil queen. But for a lot of people, they're rooting for the queen. Anyway, that's a review for a movie for another day. But speaking of Gal Gadot, she recently got her star on the Walk of Fame for, of course, her years, her career in acting. So she goes up there. She gets her Walk of Fame. She gets her pictures taken with her family, her friends, those who are closest to her. But there are people celebrating. And there's others celebrating as well. And they just happen to be pro-Palestinian. You know, Hamas lovers, if you will. Why? Why the hate for Gal Gadot? Could it be because she's Israeli? Well, yes. But Gal Gadot sticks by her guns, stands her ground, and stands by her country. And here we go. This coming out of PJ Media. Despite hateful backlash, Gal Gadot refuses to stop supporting her country. Actress Gal Gadot got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame earlier this week to honor her decade and a half work in films like Wonder Woman and the Fast and Furious series. But the ceremony for one of Hollywood's highest paid actresses and the mom of four didn't exactly go without a hitch. What should have been a happy day to allow the actress and her family and friends to celebrate her career quickly turned into a political protest because, as we all know, leftists don't like it when people are happy and enjoy themselves. That's a fact. Ask everyone after the election last year. Coming out of LA. Several dozen protesters arrived just before the ceremony began with pro-Palestinian demonstrators holding signs that read, "Heroes fight like Palestinians, Viva, Viva Palestina, and free the hostages." The area on Hollywood Boulevard was tended off and completely blocked from street from view. But that didn't stop protesters from showing up and causing a disruption. The crowd of protesters, swelled to more than 2 dozen on each side of the ceremony, began 15 minutes late, according to Variety. Protesters continued to chant throughout the event, while police were called in after a pro-Palestinian demonstrator took an Israeli flag, according to the video, from the scene. Gadot is originally from Israel and even won the Miss Israeli pageant in 2004, and going on to represent her country in the Miss Universe competition. After that, she served in Israeli Defense Forces. Of course, she served in the military for a couple years before setting her sights on acting. She worked as a combat trainer and has said it was demanding, but she enjoyed giving back to her community. She also said of the IDF, "One day I hope that we have peace in the Middle East and everyone is able to live together in harmony. I wish none of these countries in the world would ever need an army, but this is how it goes in Israel." She also maintains a home in Tel Aviv. Gadot is patriotic and proud of her home country. While she's not the one to insert herself in politics, she's been very vocal about her support for Israel, especially after the atrocities committed by Hamas October 7th of 23. She especially outspoken on behalf of the hostages who were taken on that day. Quote, "I'm using my platform to share these faces, names, and tell the world what's happening," she wrote on Instagram in the days following the attack. She's also made various posts on X. This on X. At this moment, there are hundreds of missing of innocent Israelis, their families broken, and begging for any piece of information that could lead to bring them home. "I'm using my platform to share their names, faces, and tell the world what's happening." And of course, she does as such. There are members of the same family, 10 of them, all being held by Hamas. Take a minute and let that sink in. Children, mothers, grandparents are all being taken from their homes and not heard from since last Saturday. What if this was your family? And of course, she posted that October 14th of 23. And despite the fact that she's made many people angry, she refuses to back down from her stance. Gal Gadot also stars in the controversial Snow White movie. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a later video. While her star, Rachel Zegler, a mouthy 23-year-old, quite outspoken about her anti-Trump, pro-Palestinian politics, Gadot says she normally thinks it's silly for celebrities to share their political opinions. What? Gal, what are you talking about? When Hollywood speaks, you must listen. Didn't you get the memo? I can only imagine how awkward that set was. Quote, I don't talk politics because who cares about celebrities talking about politics? I'm an artist. I want to entertain people. I want to bring hope and a beacon of light whenever I can say anything about the world, she says in an interview with Variety earlier in the month. That's the most refreshing thing I've heard out of celebrities' mouth in decades. But the Variety interview, she also said that everything changed for her on October 7th. But on October 7th, when people were abducted from their homes, their beds, men, women, children, elderly, Holocaust survivors, were going through the horrors of what happened that day, I could not be silent. I was shocked by the amount of hate, the amount of how many people think they know what they actually have no idea, and also about how the media is not fair many times, so I had to speak up. I'm not a hater. I'm a grandchild of a Holocaust survivor who came to Israel and established his family from scratch after his entire family was erased from Auschwitz. And on that day, on that other side of my family, I'm an 8th generation Israeli. I'm an indigenous person of Israel. I'm all about humanity. I'm all about humanity. Man, I can't get the words out today. I apologize. I'm all about humanity, and I felt I had to advocate for the hostages. Quote, when your compass is clear, your conscience is clear, and I know what I'm advocating for, and I know what I wish for the world. I'm praying for better days for all, she said, adding, I want everyone to have a good life and prosperity and the ability to raise their children in a safe environment. Good for her for standing up for her home country and her fellow citizens, even when it's not popular. I haven't seen many of Gadot's movies, but I've heard great things about her and her family and friends I've met and worked with her. I've also absolutely no intention of watching this stupid Snow White movie, but if I did, I've had to say for once, I'd be pulling for the Queen. Much appreciation. Much props to one Gal Gadot. Now, I've seen her Wonder Woman movies. I didn't see Wonder Woman 84 because of the wokish nonsense, nor have no intentions of seeing that trash baggery of a movie, Snow White. Thank you, Rachel Zegler. But in regards to this, a woman who stands up for her people, her country, she wants to see the best for her country, she wants to see the best for the world, and she wants to see one day where Israel doesn't have to watch itself 24 hours a day with constant police and military protection. Now, if anyone who is of biblical mind knows that that's not going to happen because it's prophecy. But she's getting trashed. You notice that when she stands up for her country, the ones who are not coming after her, you don't see the Scarlett Johanssons, the Robert Downey Jr.'s, the Mark Ruffalo's, You don't see her fellow compatriot actors going after her. Not that I've seen. I said, I don't know. You may have. Leave a comment below. But with this, I'm proud of her. Because a lot of actresses and actors who talk about politics have no fucking idea of what they speak of. None. That's why she makes it very clear. She goes, I think it's silly for celebrities to speak about politics when they have no fucking idea of what they speak of. But yet, you hear them chirp off. Turn on any late night, quote unquote, comedy show, and you know what I'm talking about. But with Miss Gal Gadot, a wife, a mother of four, she accepts her star on the Walk of Fame, and I think the whole Star Walk of Fame is kind of a joke because there are people on there who worked in silliness and yet still got a star. Anyway, but you have legends like Chuck Norris, so that's something. But congratulations to Miss Gal Gadot on her star on the Walk of Fame, and again, congratulations for standing by her guns, and standing her ground and watching over her country, or her defense of her country, and her defense of her people. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Borganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. Hit the notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always. And we'll see you next time. Peace.